All right, welcome back into the arena. Callum Singleton has won 2 in a row. Let's give it up for Declan Brennan, first of all, who exits the competition. And let's keep that ripple going for Callum Singleton, who has won 2 in a row. Well played. Warming up?
Yeah, a little bit. I played a little bit better there. Should have kept quiet, shouldn't he? I even give him a 1-0 head start as well, and he still can beat me.
Loving this, absolutely loving it. This is what the last man standing is all about. Hopefully it's an influence for the rest of the day. You've got a choice now, Cal, because you are looking to sit in that lovely red seat there. So here's how it works. Your choices are limited now. You can't just call out anybody. If you're going to call somebody out, these are the fellas right here. Tom Cousins and Chris Melling. Their bounty brought to you by Beemore. Prasad's bounty for Jack Whelan, and Omnia Therapy's bounty for Phil Harrison. Or you can randomly draw it. What would you like to do, Cal?
Does any of the 4 big boys want to come out?
That's not how it works. You've got to pick him. You can't volunteer.
He was giving it all day, so and he got dealt with. So yeah, random draw. Go for it.
Random draw is the decision. So
I asked them and they didn't want it.
Yeah, that is true. You did ask them and they didn't fancy it. So we are going to go to the random draw. Stay right there. You're going to want to watch this. Computer, in your own time, let's find out who Cal will be playing to go safe and 3 in a row. Who is it going to be? Come on down. Scott Rutter. The Outpatient Network sponsor's pick is Scott Rutter, and he is in nice and early. Happy with that?
Just another game, mate. Another game. Race to 4, anyone, so bring it on.
That red seat looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, hopefully I can get on there, and hopefully don't have to come off it till like the final. Can that?
Yeah, we'll leave you some bum cheeks in that for the rest of the day. Okay, so we've got another match on in just a moment. Those of you watching us on Facebook, the stream is going to end now, so you've got to head on over to the Ultimate Pool app, LMS2, for £2 off if you are not subscribed for your first month. In the meantime, Scott Rutter comes into the arena, and our next match is coming up.
I think we were wondering what Callum would do there after he'd made that big call to call out Declan on the second match. Was he going to double down? Went for what was ultimately a sensible choice. And he's kind of been rewarded, really, because with no disrespect to Scott, some of the players that could have been in that random draw, all the bounters and some other top pros, this probably is one of the easier draws he could have got. And a pretty big prize for Callum, because if he can just complete one more victory, he gets the seat in that hot seat and could be there for some time, guaranteed at least the next few matches off.
Yeah, something that the players have been saying as well before this started was, you know, how easy is it for someone to win 3 matches in a row, because obviously if Callum wins this, he'd go in the hot seat, and then like you said, he's going to stay there until someone else wins 3 games. But you know, I don't think it's as easy as it seems to win 3 in a row.
Well, not with this new format as well, because if you could have chosen all of your opponents, maybe in the early part of the going, top pro won a match, they could have pulled out a couple of qualifiers and felt they had a slight edge just in terms of experience in the match arena. But with the random draw last, you can't control who you're going to be playing. I mean, it's kind of the dream start if you do win. So you don't really want to be called out first. It wasn't ideal for Callum, but if he does now win those 3, he's going to feel warmed up. He's going to feel like he's part of the tournament. There's something weird about not playing. I mean, there was the thing last year. Declan had kind of the opposite of this year's experience. He got all the way through to day 2 without playing and came forth having not won a match, I think, in the end. But normally in a tournament, you sort of everybody has a first round, and you just kind of feel like you're part of it.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, really. It's just a different tournament to anything else, you know. I think the hardest thing is not knowing when you're going to play, and you can't really get yourself ready. You know, every time someone wins and then they do the draw again, you know, you sort of, the adrenaline gets going as well. So if you do get picked and you go out there, you're not really feeling relaxed and how you should be, you know, because you're not prepared for the game.
No, it's a weird atmosphere because everyone's obviously crowding around the table. It's going to be a break in play this afternoon, but otherwise it's not like anybody can afford to stray too far away in case they get called out again. crunching break from Scott Rutter. Got plenty of power into that, but nothing doing. See, when you're the lower ranked player, you just want to get started. Would love to have made a ball off that break and just had a chance to get a few balls in.
Tough to tell at the moment whether this is an easy finish or not. The red and the yellow next to the right hand rail, I'm not sure whether the red would go into the top right. If it does, it's probably a good chance to clear up from here.
Looks a bit more relaxed now. First match against Joe Connolly, he looked pretty edgy and need quite a few chances. Now he's obviously won that and then beaten a big well-known player in the last match as well.
Yeah, as I was saying before, like, you know, you're not really relaxed when you go out to play that first game because you don't know whether you're going to be playing or not, and the adrenaline's going a bit. So, yeah, the first game for anyone's going to be tough when they go out there.
Yeah, I think most pool players don't love the first match of the morning anyway. It wasn't a super early start today, but everybody looked sort of a bit cold as they were stood around the table. By the end of the day, there's normally a lot more shouting out and people really getting into the spirit of the match. So it looks like he's got the angle to get through to the ball up to the top right. It's a big pocket, obviously, with the yellow there. Well, this has been some start from Callum. This has been a very different pattern of play from the last couple of matches. Clearance off his own break. Good but dry break from his opponent. Looks like he's going to mop these up as well. Well, Scott Rutter, it's obviously a big day for him. He's here representing the sponsor as well as playing in it, but not having much joy so far out on the table. Just a single break to his name.
Earlier on, you know, even if you win your 3 games, you're not guaranteed to get, you know, to that sort of the end of the tournament. So all depends when I get drawn out, really.
If you're hoping to avoid the random draw, because you're probably sitting in that group of top pros that aren't the bouncers, that aren't the most obvious ones to call out if people are picking a name. So it's the random draw is your most likely chance to end up out on the table.
Yeah, and I think it's a good rule change this year that, you know, there's going to be a lot more random draws, whereas last year people pretty much every match it was just someone being picked. So I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it adds to the entertainment value and it also keeps the field a bit more balanced. I think last year there was a bit of an element of people sort of working their way up from the bottom of the rankings list, which is an understandable way of doing it. Chance this for Scott to get to the table. Not a bad position. Ideally like to have just screwed past that yellow, taking the ball down the left-hand rail first to get it out of the way. Still in pretty good shape.
Probably the 2 yellows furthest down the table have to be his last 2 balls now, so he'll take this one and then the one near the 8 ball. I'm not sure if he tried to get on the one on the rail then, but wasn't easy from there.
It's difficult, of course, for the players that aren't used to this match arena. This table does play a bit different. It takes a shot or 2, sometimes a lot more than that, to get the pace. Just have done with catching the red there, with held position. Still see the ball at the top of the table.
Yeah, there's a couple of options. He could also double the yellow into the corner pocket as well, because I think it's pretty much a bang-on double, and you would get on the last yellow pretty easy.
Yeah, just hasn't quite come back far enough. Good double. He's got a bit of trouble here. Didn't quite see the potting angle. Don't know whether he can get close enough that he can just bend it, or he's going to have to come off the cushion. Oh, this is awkward. He's going to try and make it in the opposite corner. The wrong ball though. Callum Singleton, just the one problem at the top of the table, which he can get straight after now. Considering whether he could play that as a plant, I mean, you'd probably want to play some element of safety if you did that. He's decided to go the more conservative route, hang on to the lead that he's got.
Yeah, I'd imagine the plant wasn't on there, because I think if there was any way of possibly getting it, he'd have still played it and probably screwed the white up the table and got the snooker anyway, so probably the plant wasn't on.
That's the advantage of having a 2-frame lead. You feel like you can get involved in a safety game because you're not really bothered about the clock running down. Well, 2 attempts to get out of snookers. He's missed both times. And this time, this is exactly what Callum wanted. Split out the 2 difficult balls, knew that if he came back to the table, they'd all be waiting for him. What do you feel about the format this year? In terms of the match time, it's obviously quite a quick-fire format, these 20-minute races to 4.
They are. It's going to be a lot tougher this year, you know, especially to try and win 3 in a row with it being first to 4s. But I think it's a much better format for people to watch, because the matches are a lot quicker. You know, I think the first to 6s were probably a little bit too long for sort of the entertainment. But so yeah, I think it's a nice change.
Yeah, from a viewer's perspective, it just keeps it all moving along. Lots happening. You can see 31 or 32 matches over the weekend. 32 players, so it's going to take a minimum of 31, but there's also the wild card of the hitmen can get given a second life depending on how things play out. You could see a 30-second match be required. Going to be playing 16 matches today and then come back tomorrow to finish the tournament off. Right now, Callum has already broken the back of this match. Just this 8 ball separates him from 3 of the 4 frames he needs. Looking a lot more relaxed now, isn't he? At the beginning it was a bit scrappy, but this match he's really come out firing. Came up dry in the first one and watched his opponent clear up. This time he's found the middle pocket. It could be the last shot he plays because these balls have split out pretty well. So ball in hand for Callum Singleton. Really very easy to see where the problem would come from for him. This is a match he's obviously fancying. He's already 3-0 up, but would like to get it closed out. Cannon that red full ball. So he's now got a little bit of a problem of his own making. The ball on the break line he's going to have to go back for.
Yeah, it was looking like on this finish that the only problem was going to be coming down for the yellow, which was on the bottom rail. But like you say, he's not canning this red now, and he does have the other problem yellow now, which is still near the red. So it's going to be a little bit tough for this finish. I think we'll see Callum just drop this yellow in, leave the one which is over the top left, and try to cannon into the red from that ball.
Nine minutes remaining on the match clock, so there is time for Scott to get back into it, which is why Callum's going to be keen to get things done at this visit. He's going to be delighted if he does run out from here, because his performance has got better and better as the morning's gone on. He's going to be sat in that hot seat, guaranteed not to play for a while. That cannon's come out pretty nice. It's made the ball easier to get to. So just 3 balls now for Callum Singleton to get into the hot seat. New innovation, of course, this year, the hot seat. Last year, as we were saying at the beginning, you just got the one match off, but now that big red chair that's in the middle of the players. Once somebody gets into it, it's theirs until another player wins 3 in a row.
It's almost like the king's throne.
Yeah, well, it's in a nice spot in the room. You've got a good vantage point of the table. You can go to the bar without anyone nicking your chair.
Apparently you get free drinks though if you sat in that chair as well.
Well, there you go. What more do you want? Well, professional victory in the end wrapped up from Callum Singleton. He looked the part very much in that last match.
All right, welcome back into the arena where our first player in the Last Man Standing with Outpatient Network for 2024 has gone 3 in a row. Let's hear it for Callum Singleton, everybody. Cal, before we let you take off and assume your seat on the throne, do you have a message for our players before you depart us in the arena?
Yeah, don't win free.
That sounds like a plan. Okay, go take your seat. Let's have a round of applause. Callum Singleton is heading to the hot seat. The seat where absolutely everybody wants to be